Imagine standing within the stark walls of the execution chamber, moments ticking down like a metronome towards the final sentence. It's a scene that few of us can, or even want to, envisage. Yet, throughout history, many individuals have faced this grim reality, often leaving behind a set of last words that linger hauntingly in the collective memory. Today, we're going to explore and dissect the 5 most chilling last utterances made by death row inmates before their lives were extinguished. These final words serve not only as a window into their minds and souls at the most critical juncture, but also as a poignant reflection of the complex and often controversial nature of capital punishment. As we begin this journey, it's essential to remember that behind each story is a multifaceted human being and a tapestry of life experiences leading up to that final, fateful moment. We tread this ground not out of morbid curiosity, but rather in an attempt to understand the depth of human emotions and the profound impact of facing one's own mortality in such an immediate and final way. Our first subject is Ted Bundy, a name that evokes dread as one of the most infamous serial killers in American history. Bundy's reign of terror throughout the 1970s culminated in his execution in 1989. In the electric chair of Florida State Prison, Bundy faced the culmination of years of legal battles, violent crimes, and a legacy that would haunt crime history forever. But as those final moments approached, he turned to his attorney and quietly uttered words of affection towards his family, words that wanted to echo love amid a biography filled with brutality. Despite the horrific nature of his crimes, his final statement presented a stark contrast to the man who had been reviled as a monster. Next, if you find the exploration in the depths of human psyche and the enigmatic final words of the condemned as gripping as we do, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means that we can keep producing content that delves deeply into the most compelling and challenging topics. Now, let's turn our attention to Aileen Wuornos, a figure whose story brings forth its own chilling resonance. Aileen Wuornos's life and subsequent crimes as one of America's few female serial killers have etched her name into criminal lore. Arrested in 1991 and executed in 2002, Wuornos's path to the lethal injection chamber in Florida was marked by tumultuous trials and intense media scrutiny. Her final words, however, spoke volumes beyond her reported deeds. Disdainfully reflecting on the prison system, Wuornos claimed to be sailing away with the rock and would return like Independence Day with Jesus. Even more controversially, she maintained innocence regarding some of her convictions. These remarks paint a complex portrait of a woman who was both reviled and pitied, a person whose life story became as much a part of her legacy as her crimes themselves. It's a chilling commentary on capital punishment that those executed can express a final message that is as individualistic as the crimes for which they have been convicted. Take Gary Gilmore, for instance, whose execution by firing squad in 1977 in Utah marked a turning point in American judicial history. After a national 10-year lull in capital punishment, Gilmore hastened the return of the state's ultimate power over life. Standing defiant and ready to meet his end, Gilmore uttered 2 simple words to the guards: "Let's do it." These words, though brief, have echoed through time, capturing a moment of steely resolve that has since become part of popular culture. Now, before we continue to peel back the layers of these haunting farewells, let us pause for a reflection. If you've ever pondered the complex nature of crime, punishment, and the human condition, Engage with us in the comments below. Share your thoughts and join the conversation that crosses the boundaries of law, morality, and the depths of human sentiment. Your insights enrich our exploration as we press forward, unwrapping more layers of this somber and thought-provoking topic. Our story now shifts to Timothy McVey, whose dispassionate exteriors veiled the turmoil that led to the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995. Faced with his death by lethal injection in 2001, McVey reached for the words of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley, a verse that speaks to an unconquerable soul. In doing so, McVey chose to identify not with words of his own, but with a literary expression of defiance and self-mastery, perhaps reflecting the ideological fortress he had built around him. In the final account, we cast our gaze upon Carla Fay Tucker, whose execution in Texas in 1998 evoked international attention and scrutiny over the death penalty, particularly for female convicts. Tucker's transformation from a murderer to a figure of born-again faith served as a remarkable backdrop for her final moments. Her last words, full of contrition and pleas for forgiveness, clashed dramatically with the state's resolute exercise of its judicial authority. Her insistence on expressing love and prayers before her execution painted a poignant picture of redemption and the quest for spiritual salvation in the face of temporal justice. Understanding these last words requires more than a passing glance. It demands that we consider the greater story of each life and the convoluted paths that lead to such a dark terminus. It's a stark reminder of the complexities of human behavior, the harsh realities of crime and punishment, and the enduring debate around the morality of the death penalty. The discourse surrounding the final declarations of those on death row often revolves around the concepts of remorse, reconciliation, and sometimes persistent denial. In dissecting these final utterances, we are reminded of the irrevocable nature of capital punishment and the stark reality that with each execution, a human life, however fluid and contentious, is brought to an irreversible end. Long after the individuals have departed this world, their last words continue to echo, prompting reflection, debate, and a deeper inquiry into the very soul of the society that serves as both judge and executioner. This concludes our exploration of the 5 most haunting last words from death row inmates. If you found today's exploration compelling, join our community by subscribing. Your engagement and curiosity are what drive us to delve into history's most thought-provoking and poignant themes. Thank you for spending this time with us. Together, we'll continue to explore the profound, the historical, and the deeply human stories that shape our world and our understanding of it.